Have you ever looked into the greasy eyes of a flesh-eating locust or smelled his steamy hot breath? Well, my mystic friend, if you're not able to find the missing ghost princess and return her to the town of Horo, that's the fate you'll face when the dragon beast unleashes his nasty plague. The Legend of the Mystical Ninja is a 1 or 2 player game released by Konami in 1992. You play as Goemon, also known as Kid Ying in the North American version. The game features 2 primary modes of play, the first of which is presented in a beat-em-up style where you'll explore various venues like villages, mountaintops, an amusement park, and more. If you enter a door or a cave while exploring, you may find a villager who might offer some advice or a bad joke. Oh, that's terrible. There are also shops where you might find useful items to purchase with gold, and the travel agency, which allows you to make a diary entry that acts as a checkpoint and also gives you a password so you can pick up where you leave off. You may also encounter folks that have mini games for you to play, which can be a decent way to make some cash if you're good enough. There are lots of mini games to play in The Legend of the Mystical Ninja, ranging from painting, which is kind of like the game Snake, to whack-a-mole, and you can even play Gradius at the Game Center, which will cost you 100 gold for a single life. There are also a bunch of gambling games like betting on horse racing, playing the lottery, or playing high or lower with dice. Honestly, it's pretty impressive just how much extra stuff they packed into this game, and you could spend a whole day just playing mini games and gambling, hoping to make a fortune because you'll probably need it to purchase items and power-ups in the various shops you'll find. These shops sell armor, helmets, food, and other items that will help you take down your enemies and stay alive. One item I wanted to call out in particular are the sandals, which increase your movement speed. You can buy multiple pairs of sandals, and each additional pair will cause you to move faster and faster. While you're exploring these beat-em-up areas, you'll encounter a wide variety of enemies which possess varying levels of lethality. There's this guy who drops the fish he's carrying when you defeat him, only for the fish to go ballistic and also attempt to kill you. Guys throwing lanterns, guys shooting guns, sneaky thieves who try to steal your stuff, and tons more to defeat. While you will notice some repeat enemies due to the sheer volume of bad guys the game throws at you, the enemy variety really helps keep the game from feeling dull or repetitive. The other primary game mode takes the form of platforming sections, which you'll know you've reached when you see this Tanuki guy warning you that the area ahead is dangerous territory. These platforming areas feature lots of interesting and challenging obstacles like these swinging balls that will require precise timing to navigate, and this waterfall area which has you jumping on platforms both in front of and behind the waterfall. There are tons of unique instances like these sprinkled throughout the game, so it always feels like there's some new challenge to conquer. When you defeat an enemy in either game mode, they'll usually drop an item like gold coins, which act as currency, scrolls, which I'll get to later, or lucky cats, which power up your weapon. You begin the game wielding a short, stubby pipe, but when you collect a lucky cat, it'll become a much longer pipe, and collecting another transforms your weapon into a yo-yo, which has the longest range, but also has some downsides. It's kinda slow, and you can occasionally miss enemies if they're too close to you. If you take damage, you'll lose 1 level of weapon upgrade, so just, don't get hit. Your pipe isn't the only weapon at your disposal, and you can swap which weapon you're using by pressing the R button. This allows you to use bombs that you can purchase from certain shops, or straight up throw money at your problems and pelt enemies with the gold coins you've collected. Collecting 10 of the scrolls I mentioned earlier allows you to unleash a powerful jutsu attack by pressing the X button. These jutsu attacks can be learned by locating the jutsu training center and paying some money to learn the attack. These attacks only work in the platforming sections. I didn't really make much use of these jutsu attacks during my playthrough since I preferred to invest my money in things like armor and sandals. There are bosses at the end of each level, and once again, they're all uniquely challenging, some of which include a boss that requires you to destroy all of the lanterns attached to the platforms on its back, a tough boss fight on a stage that's constantly rotating back and forth that I somehow managed to glitch my way to victory by pausing just as I was about to fall to my death, and a boss that's a giant face that changes its shape and movement patterns over the course of the fight. The graphics in The Legend of the Mystical Ninja, as you may have noticed throughout the course of this review, are bright, colorful, and have a cartoony style that just works. The music is also fantastic, and I frequently found myself nodding my head and humming along. The Legend of the Mystical Ninja has received nothing but praise from me this entire time, but there is something that I see as a bit of an annoyance: the farming. Unless you get really good at the minigames or extremely lucky with gambling, you'll need to kill lots of enemies to get enough gold to purchase the power-ups you want. Later in the game, this becomes quite a steep challenge. Seriously, you'll have to be on your A game at all times, as you'll face a constant barrage of fast-moving enemies that either shoot or throw stuff at you, and if you're not careful, you'll quickly find yourself dead. If you run out of lives, you'll also lose all of the gold you've acquired and all of the power-ups you've purchased since your last diary entry, which can feel devastating. I feel like we're going a little long here, and if you prefer that kind of thing, be sure to let me know in the comments, but there is one more thing I wanted to call out in particular. The Legend of the Mystical Ninja does a masterful job with its difficulty curve. It slowly increases over the course of the game, and you'll definitely feel the challenge ramping up over time. I just can't emphasize this enough. They did an absolutely spectacular job at easing you into more and more challenging scenarios until you find yourself in a frantic fight for your life. I seriously feel like I have so much more to say about The Legend of the Mystical Ninja. It's filled to the brim with fun stuff to do, mini games to play, there's a quiz show, there's a matching game, the controls are super responsive and allow for your twitch reflexes to kick in and quickly. It's unfortunate that I missed out on this one when I was younger, but I'm thankful that I had the opportunity to play through it as an adult, and I give The Legend of the Mystical Ninja a top tier 5 out of 5.